Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Carey Anderson with Dade County. I do public information and relations for the county. I want to thank you so much for joining us today on the Dade County Weekly Update. Remember that you can type your questions in the comment section of the Facebook broadcast. If you don't want to ask your questions live during the broadcast, you can always email us at info@dadecounty-ga.gov. Thank you so much for coming to the right place for the right information. I also want to remind you that you can watch this on YouTube, so you can watch that later on Facebook or YouTube. If you know somebody who doesn't have Facebook, this is also live on YouTube every Thursday at 3 o'clock. We have several guests today. We have George Williams, the director for the Alliance for Dade, Joy Odom with the Dade County Historical Society of Trenton, Georgia, Jessica Bowman, the Dade County Library Youth Education Coordinator, Dade County School Superintendent Josh Ingle, and Dade County Executive Ted Rumley. So that's quite a lineup that we have today. So if you know anybody who would be interested in hearing from any of our guests today, go ahead and invite them to watch this live broadcast, start a watch party, or just share it in your Facebook or YouTube feed so that people can see that. The first thing that I want to talk about before getting to our guests, though, is advanced voting. So advanced voting for the upcoming November 2nd election started this past Tuesday. Since that voting started, we've had 52 people vote already in that advanced voting. Advanced voting will last through October the 29th. You can see that entire schedule at dadecounty-ga.gov. We do have 2 Saturday votes that I want to mention for those of you who work through the week. So the Saturday votes are October the 16th and October the 16th and October the 23rd. Also, advanced voting happens only here at the Dade County Administrative Building, so make sure you come here to vote. The election, on election day, all polls are open, and you do have to vote at your precinct. If you have any question about that, you can contact the elections office at 706-657-8170. So this is an election for both the county and the city of Trenton. City voters will be able to vote on the police commissioner, the parks and recreation commissioner, as well as 3 questions by the city that I'm going to read to you in just a moment. And county voters will be able to vote on District 4 commissioner. Also, if you live in the city of Trenton, you can also vote on the District 4 commissioner. So the questions that are out there, and you can see these on our website at dadecounty-ga.gov. The first question is, shall the governing authority of the city of Trenton, Georgia be authorized to permit and regulate package sales by retailers of both malt beverages and wine on Sundays between the hours of 12:30 p.m. and 11:30 p.m.? Question 2 is, shall the issuance of licenses for the package sale of distilled spirits be approved? Question 3 is, shall the governing authority of the city of Trenton, Georgia be authorized to permit and regulate Sunday sales of distilled spirits or alcoholic beverages for beverage purpose by the drink? Now, reminder, those questions are for city voters only. We also will be having the 28th, so on the weekly update on Thursday, October the 28th, we will be hosting candidate speeches for both county and city candidates who are running for office. So Mike Norris and Kirk Forshee are running for police commissioner. Melissa Christensen Bradford and Belladonna are running for District 4 commissioner. The confirmed candidates for that those candidate speeches on the 28th are Mike Norris, Melissa Bradford, and Belladonna. Kirk Forshee has not committed to that at this time. We'll let you know when that changes. During that, the candidates will give a 5-minute speech about why they're running for office. So since there wasn't a debate, we thought we would try to get that together for you. I do have a couple of announcements for extension. They wanted me to remind you about the Tri-State Beekeepers Association Monday, October 18th at 7 o'clock p.m. at the Extension office. Their speaker will be Caitlin Jarvis, UTC Environmental Science grad student. She will be discussing monitoring and comparing hives. Also, the Tri-State Cattlemen's Association will be meeting Tuesday, October the 19th at 7 o'clock p.m. at the Dade County Ag Center. They will be discussing protecting the family farm in light of Congress's impending tax changes. The presenter will be George Lyon, a farm succession attorney. There is a pre-boxed meal by Choo Choo Barbecue. The cost is $12. You will need to call and RSVP for that by this Friday. You can call 706-657-4116. Next, we'll hear from George Williams with the Alliance for Dade.
Thank you, Carey. I'm going to do save the date first, and then I'll talk about a the expo, which the Alliance for Dade is hosting this year. So mark your calendar for October 21st at 7 o'clock, which is the Dade County High School Homecoming Parade and Bonfire. It should be a great night. Trick or Treat on the Square is going to be on October 23rd from 5:30 to 7:30. The DES Fall Festival is October 23rd from 2 to 5. The Optimist Bowling fundraiser is October 24th. I don't have times for that. The Historical Society route to the Battle of Chickamauga is on October 24th from 2:15 to 5:30. Election Day, as Carey just mentioned, is on November the 2nd. So please get out and do your duty to cast your vote. Hope for the Holidays, which is a sheriff's event. The sheriff, it's being held at the sheriff's office, and that's due on November 24th. The Alliance for Dade Jolly Holiday Expo is scheduled for December the 4th, and All I Want for Christmas Parade and Light Up Trenton are scheduled for December the 4th. So make sure you get out to see the parade and also the Light Up Trenton event. Just a couple more minutes, I'd like to talk about we need exhibitors for the Dade Expo Jolly Holiday event, which is taking place at Dade County High School on December the 4th. That's a Saturday from 9 to 4. We expect close to 1,000 people to come to the event to buy from exhibitors and hear from nonprofits that are going to be part of that. We have a deadline set for November the 6th. Because we want to make sure that we advertise all of our exhibitors well before the event. So if you are willing to, if we'd like to do an exhibit, we're about 50 days out from the event actually happening. Please go to alliancefordade.com and you can find a registration form there. That's all the updates I have today, Carey.
Thank you, George. Next, we'll hear from Joy Odom with Dade County Historical Society of Trenton, Georgia.
George was kind enough to mention our Save the Date event. It is October 24th, coming up very soon. Many of us who live in Dade County are very familiar with the Chickamauga battlefield right over the mountain in Fort Oglethorpe, and the battle that took place there on the 18th through the 20th of September in 1863. We have a chance to learn a great deal more about that, and the fact that, and many people here don't know much about this, the fact that Dade County played a big part in the lead up to that battle, with both the Northern and the Southern armies converging on Dade County at one point on the way to what was to be the Battle of Chickamauga. We have the head ranger of Chickamauga Battlefield who will be with us that afternoon. His name is Jim Ogden, and he probably knows more about the Battle of Chickamauga than anybody alive, and he will be taking us through the more important aspects of what led up to that battle. Most of the events we'll be talking about that day took place in Johnston's Crook, but it will take a little bit of orientation to understand where we're going and what we're going to see. So we will meet here at the gazebo at 2:15 on Sunday afternoon, October the 24th, and we will go in a car caravan from there. We have a limit on the number of cars that can go because we have limits on where we can park and how many cars we can park, but we do have a few more spaces. So if anybody's interested, we certainly want you to contact me, and I'll give you a phone number in just a minute. We will go from here to Johnson's Crook, park in the area there. There will be a pit stop on the way at First Baptist Church in Rising Fall. They have been kind enough to lend us their facilities for the afternoon. And then we will go out into the Crook. If you want to go, be aware that you're going to be walking over rough territory, and be prepared for that. If you're like me and you use a cane, you'll need to be sure and take it, bring water, wear comfortable shoes. We anticipate about a 3-hour event. If you're interested in going or would like to learn more about it, please give me a call. My phone number is 706-398-1051, and we would be more than happy to have your company for the afternoon if you're interested in the Civil War in Dade County. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Joy. Next, we'll hear from Jessica Bowman with the Dade County Library.
Hi, Thank you, Carey. Hello, good afternoon. It's a beautiful day today. My name is Jessica Bowman. I'm with the Dade County Library. I'm the Youth Education Coordinator there. And I just want to share a few events and updates that we have going on at the library this week. So we are still hiring for our Outreach Coordinator. It's a 10-month, 20-hour-a-week temporary position, and what you'll be doing is actually running a mobile library. So all of our upcoming community events like the Dade Expo, and then just like setting up in parking lots and flea markets, farmers markets, that kind of thing, you'll be able to drive around Walker and Dade County and set up libraries all over, which is pretty cool. So if you're interested in that, make sure you apply at chrl.org/employment-opportunities. And I think applications are due on the 26th, so just make sure you get those in by then. So our next thing is Ready to Read Story Time. So Ready to Read Story Time is every Thursday at 10:30, and we actually got really wild this morning when we did it. We had we learned about snakes and the color purple, and we actually had a guest snake come visit us, and the kids got to touch and pet and hold the snake even. And it was really cute because, at first a lot of the kids were afraid of snakes, but by the end they were holding him and petting him, and he was really sweet. So it was a lot of fun. So just if you have a kid that is 5 years old or younger, we invite you to come to Storytime to Ready to Read every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. And next week, we're going to have a special guest. Miss Kathleen is coming from the Lafayette branch, and she's going to be doing a lesson on kindness. And then the week after next, we are going to be doing pumpkins. So if you are planning on coming, I would just suggest that you might want to wear your play clothes because we are going to get messy. And then as far as what else we have going on, George mentioned the trick-or-treat event that is happening on the 23rd from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. And we still have a few tables left available inside the library. So if you are interested in having a table, planning for about 1,000 people to come through. So if you're interested in having a table inside the library, just call the library and ask for Jessica, and I'll be happy to answer your questions and get you down. Last but not least, if you just want to follow us on Facebook and see all of our updates, make sure you check us out on the website, and then all of our contact information is available on the slide, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that, Jessica. Next, we'll hear from Dade County School Superintendent Josh Ingle.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you and or your kids had a wonderful fall break. Some of you may have been like me and you were directed to do honeydew chores at home. So even though I had some time out of the office, I had work to do at home as well. I do want to let everyone know right before fall break, we had a couple of good weeks with our COVID-19 numbers. The week that ended right before fall break, we reported 5 positive cases and 61 quarantines. We reported that to DPH. We also sent out a text message stating, if your child was exposed or had symptoms during fall break, be sure to contact the principal and the school nurse, because we are required, if we're aware of something, we do have to report that in. So. But hopefully, we'll continue to see our numbers decline. We've had some good weeks, so we certainly want to capitalize on those numbers. Starting next week, the Dade County Health Department will be going to each one of our schools and offering the flu vaccine to kids. They were actually at the high school earlier today offering the vaccine to staff members, but next week, the health department will go to, starting next week, they'll go to each one of our schools and offer the flu vaccine to kids. Those consent forms went home in the packets that went home early in the school year. If you filled that out and your child turned it in at school, that has been turned into the health department. If you did not sign a consent form, your child will not be vaccinated. If you have any questions about that, please be sure to reach out to the school principal or the school nurse. The dates for those vaccines, the health department will be at Dade Middle School on October the 18th. They're scheduled for Dade County High School on October the 20th, October the 22nd at Davis Elementary, and then in October 26th at Dade Elementary. Again, if you have any questions about that, please be sure to contact the school nurse or the principal. Ms. Beeler is offering a online safety class for parents. It's a parent workshop, and it's titled Keeping Your Child Safe in an Internet World. She'll be hosting that on October the 21st. She currently has 2 options available, one at 8 o'clock and one at 5 o'clock. So if you're interested in learning more about internet safety, keeping your child safe, particularly in those early teenage years, please reach out to Principal Beeler at Dade Middle School, and she'll be glad to take care of you. As George mentioned, next week is homecoming week for Dade, for the Dade County community, but particularly Dade County High School. And the theme this year is "I Love the '80s." So the high school is planning on at this time hosting a homecoming parade. We'll start right there at the Bank of Dade, come around the square, and then we are scheduled to end. And most of the parade ends right there at Moore Funeral Home. But after the parade is over, we do have a bonfire that is scheduled to take place at Dade County High School. So lots of excitement in the air at Dade County High School and Dade County schools this week, particularly next week as we transition into homecoming. Closing out homecoming week will be the Fall Festival at Dade Elementary School. That will be Saturday, October the 23rd. And I know Ms. Blevins was strategic in how she scheduled this, because it's the same day that University of Georgia is not playing football. Go Dogs. So the Fall Festival will take place from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock at Dade Elementary on Saturday, October the 23rd. I want to give a big shout out to the Dade County High School volleyball team. They are the runner-up for Region 7A AA. They will be hosting the first round of the state playoffs next week. So shout out to the Dade County High School volleyball team. And then another shout out to the Dade County High School Lady Wolverines softball team. They defeated Callaway High School this past week on Tuesday, and they won a doubleheader there. Didn't have to play the third game. It was the best 2 out of 3 series. They now advance to the Sweet 16, which will be held next week, and we'll be playing Cook County here at Dade County High School. As soon as we get the times and the exact dates of that game, we'll be sure to get it out on the website, on social media, text message, several modes of communication. Again, we'll continue to keep you informed about our COVID numbers, but I want to, give a shout out to everyone for taking it serious. We don't wish any kind of illness on anyone, but we also want to maintain these relatively low numbers so that we can keep kids in school. Thank you very much.
Hey, Josh, do you know? Can you give them some statistics on the football team? Kind of what they
Dade County High School football team, yes.
That's something to brag about right there.
Yes,
yeah.
Dade County High School football team, they are doing well also. They're 5-1 right now. We go into a big region matchup this Friday night at Chattooga High School. We've only got 1 loss this year, and we have no losses in our region. So football team is really... all of our athletics right now are doing really well, but the football team, yes, we're currently sitting at 5-1, or maybe even 6-1. I've lost count, but our only loss came to Mount Zion, so we're sitting in a good spot right now as far as our region goes. We've still got several more games, but we do have a good shot at possibly moving on to the state playoffs, but hopefully even hosting a state playoff game.
That'd be good.
So,
And we also hear congratulations are in order to Dr. Plumley at Dade Elementary School for winning the Golden Apple Award, News Channel 12's Golden Apple Award. And now we're on to County Executive Ted Rumley.
Good report there, Josh. Yeah, it's really good. I'm proud of our schools. We really have some really good schools, good teachers, good coaches, you know, and we're proud of our students. I'll go over a few things here before I go into my update on as far as the COVID numbers. You may have noticed the planes on the coming over with the actual. Have you got that on PowerPoint today? You don't have it. Okay, we showed it last week, but we did mention that the USDA they will be making drops for the rabid, coons, possum, skunks. They've been a lot of issue in Georgia this year, and so they're really trying to crack down on that. I think is it on our website that they can pull it up? And if you'll look at that, and next what we'll show you some more pictures of these things that are dropping. There's 2 or 3 different types, so don't be alarmed if you find one of these in your yard. They're trying to drop them in, of course, wooded areas, but it's kind of hard to control in there. And everyone has got a stamp on it. It's got a number, a phone number. It's a toll-free number. You call that, and they'll explain to you what you need to do with it. Basically, what they want you to do is put it on deeper into the woods or get it out of your yard and pick it up with gloves or with wash your hands when you do handle it. And it will not hurt your pets. They assure us that the cats and dogs and everything, it's not going to hurt them if they eat it. So just kind of be aware of that. I know Robert saw a plane this morning flying low. It was about 500 feet there, and we suspect that was probably one of the planes. And they also will be using helicopters. So just keep that in mind. I know Billy this morning, he mentioned, or supposed to mention, our paving. It's supposed to start, they're going to go ahead and do Hills Gap first, one up Sand Mountain. And they're going to start either between the 27th or 28th, somewhere in that date. So we'll keep you up on that day to day, when they do get started, because I know there'll be some congestion on the traffic. And those of you that live on the mountain there on Sand Mountain know that that's a well-traveled road. So, but we'll just need to bear with them, because it's going to be a great thing when we finish it. That road will be in better shape than it's ever been since it was built, really. Our striping crews, they kind of started and they pulled off. They're kind of waiting. Now they're obligated to, as soon as they finish 136, which they're working right now, putting the non-skid on it, from what I understand, they're contracted to stripe that too. So, probably next week or so, they'll start back on our county roads, and we've got several county roads that they're going to be striping. It's actually the mainly in the mountainous areas and where the fog comes in, and anywhere there's visibility problem. On GDOT projects, the cable bears, of course, they're working on that on the interstate. They're actually tentative end date on that is going to be toward the end of this month. I don't know whether they're going to make it or not. They're working, but they've got a pretty small crew working out there. So anyway, they're doing the best they can do. The New Salem to the Tennessee line on 189, they're working on that. I'm not sure how much they like on it. I went there the other day, and the fellow I talked to couldn't exactly give me a completion date, but I do know that they are working on that paving, trying to get that done. And actually, the paving up here, they've got their tentative date on the Sand Mountain 136. The road is 11:30. Hopefully, they'll get that finished sooner than that. I feel that they will, because they are going forward with it, and they've got quite a crew that has been working on it. The Tri-State Food Pantry, I will mention them. Noon to 1, tomorrow they'll be loading a truck that goes to Lookout Mountain. 2 to 4, they'll be at Rising Pond United Methodist Church, and 3 to 5 at the Sand Mountain United Methodist Church, which is the main campus out there. If you have any questions, you can contact Harry Abel or Rose Powell. Her number is 423-316-0384. You can go online. All this information I'm reading is online if you need to look at that. Our driver services, they'll be back Monday. For some reason, they've really been busy the last few weeks, or the last week or two they've been here, and I guess because of the linemen or whatever. But, if you don't see any parking, it's just kind of congested right here where the doors are at. There's plenty of parking on around the building, so don't give up. I had some people that they pulled up and looked, and they just drove off, and whether they came back, I don't know, but there were several people I noticed that did that. But just kind of bear with them on that. But we do have plenty of parking here in the front of the building. The senior center down at Four Fields there, we're glad to say that it's open back up. I think things are going pretty smooth there, and they just hope and ask them to be really careful and abide by the rules as far as the mask and actually the distancing, and just kind of use common sense there. And then they've started their events back, and I'm glad for that. The vaccination stations, the only free vaccination station that we have are the Colonnade over in Catoosa County, and we've jointly, actually all three counties, Dade, Walker, Catoosa, that is the hub for our counties. We've tried to get them here in this county. We've not been successful yet on that, on getting a group here in the county to do that, because this is actually not the health department themselves. They're subbing it out to another group, so it's not really the Department of Public Health. They're backing it, but they're subbing it out. So, but anyway, they are doing free drive-through vaccinations over there, and they're open from 5 to 7 on Thursday evenings. The Dade County Health Department, we still are doing the Pfizer and the Moderna downstairs, and it's free, but it's not a drive-through. You have to come in, you have to make an appointment on that one. And on the booster, now is this correct? The Moderna, I know you don't have the Moderna here, so what you're saying here on this is, and this just came from them, right?
Right. This came from the Department of Health for the state of Georgia.
Because I've heard both ways. I've seen both different
Yeah. So this
people.
is the latest that we have from the Department of Health.
And this is on the booster. A lot of people have been concerned with the booster, and right now, the people 65 years and older and residents in long-term care settings, they can get the Pfizer booster. And from what I understand, that's all. Not the Moderna yet. It's not been really released yet. People aged 18 to 64 who are at increased risk for the COVID-19 exposure and transmission because of occupations and institutional settings, you can get your booster, but it's only Pfizer. The Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine has been authorized as a booster dose, and the above recommendations will only apply to individuals who receive the Pfizer vaccine, so you can't mix them. Most people know that, but you can't. You can't have got Moderna and then get a Pfizer. Our testing locations. We have a few here in the county that close to us. You have primary health care. You need to make an appointment there. The Lawson Medical, which is over on the square right with the courthouse. Have Price Pharmacy, 136 going up Sand Mountain there. And then the American Family Care in Lookout Valley, which is right by Walmart. Right by Jack's Restaurant there. Most people know where that's at, and they are also doing it. Now, all of these right here, they will, most of them take an insurance card or insurance of some type or straight pay. And I'm not sure, I know the only one's got a Price Pharmacy, they do the rapid test, and it's $90 for a rapid test. And I think most of your places, I think Price Pharmacy anyway, and I think even Walmart, you can buy the self-test. Right, they're still selling those. I'm not sure how much
Walmart has
they are.
those. I don't know about Price, but Walmart does.
Yeah,
You
and I
can
think
call
they come
Price,
two to
though.
a pack. So it may be cheaper on you to do that or whatever. You may feel more comfortable paying and getting a nurse or whatever to do it. They do have free testing at Colonnade Monday and Wednesday from 10 till 7, and that's only on Monday and Wednesday over to Colonnade there in Fort Oglethorpe on 2A. Let me go into our numbers here. Okay, as we speak today in Dade County, we are at 1,766 positive cases since this thing started. We're at 41 cases and 41 positives in the last 14 days. We've had 17 deaths and 67 hospitalizations. Walker County, their top number now is 9,316. They're up 192 in the last 14 days. Catoosa County, they're at 8,174, and they've had 207 in the last 2 weeks. Chattooga County, they're at 3,619, and they've had 107 positive cases in the last 2 weeks. Moving down to Tennessee, or Hamilton County, Hamilton, Marion, Grundy. Hamilton County, their number, let me make sure I'm reading this. Yeah, 62,525 positive cases as we speak since day one. They have 1,192 active cases. and they've had 638 deaths, but they've had 60,695 recoveries out of that 62,525. Marion County, they're at 5,675. They have 139 active cases, and they've had 5,484 recoveries out of that 5,675, and they've had 52 deaths. Grundy County, they're at 2,768 positive cases. They have 80 active cases, and they've had 2,651 recoveries out of that 2,768, and they've had 37 deaths, I'm sorry. Alabama, let's move down to Jackson County. At this time, they've had 9,760 positive cases. They've had 177 deaths, and 51 cases have been reported in Jackson County, positive cases in the last 7 days, not 14, but 7. DeKalb County, they're at 12,530 in DeKalb. They've had 258 deaths, and they've had 91 cases in the last 7 days. They give theirs weekly, and the others are every 14 days. So it's definitely not going away by far. Just keep things. Try to keep wear your mask, keep your social distancing when you're at church, funerals, weddings, or whatever. Just be aware that this thing is real. It's still happening. Our hospitals are still they're still almost at max. So just be careful out there. And we'll if you have any questions, you can call me at 423-667-8999 about anything we've talked about today or anything pertaining to government. We got any questions? No questions
today.
Okay. We appreciate everyone working with us and tuning in. Hopefully it's been somewhat helpful to you. And we'll see you next week, 3 o'clock, unless we have to come back sooner. And we do appreciate it. Thank you.